Hi, welcome to Glow's Kindred Kitchen, and I'm Glow. Well, today I'm making some cornbread, and it's a recipe that's out of one of my very first cookbooks I ever had called Fanny Farmer Cookbook. And this particular recipe is called Rich Corn Cake, and it's actually one of our favorites. I make several different kinds, but this is one of them that we really like. So I thought I'd share it with you today, and there are a couple of things I've changed up in it through the years, and I'll tell you what those ingredients are. So what I did prior to us starting was I went ahead and I measured out the ingredients for the dry ingredients and put them in the bowl here. I have 1 cup of cornmeal. I have 1 cup of flour. I have 1/4 cup of sugar. There is 1 teaspoon of baking soda. There's 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. And there is 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And that's what it calls for, but I put just about 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt instead of the 3/4. And for the cornmeal, instead of yellow, I have used white cornmeal tonight. So what you do is you just stir this up to blend it real well. And then it says for you to put in your liquid ingredients and fairly quick. So there is 1/4 cup of milk, and I have whole milk here. There is 1 cup, it calls for sour cream, but what I'm using is yogurt, plain yogurt. And there is 1/4 cup of melted butter. And 2 eggs well beaten. So I just went ahead and I had already beaten them up. Put those in. There we go. And then you just stir this up. And prior to us starting, I went ahead and I turned on my oven to 425 degrees. And I've already greased a pan that I'm going to put this in. It says to use a 9x9x2 baking pan, so I'm using that. Some of my cornbread recipes I cook in a cast iron pan, but this one I just use a glass 9x9 pan. And I always have used a wooden spoon to do my cornbread.
But now you're using a spurtle.
Yeah, this is called a spurtle. It's kind of like a wooden spoon, but it's like a spatula wooden spoon. It's kind of curved. It's great. Very handy. They originated, they say, in Scotland in like the 1500s. They were originally like the handle of a wooden spoon, and they would use it to stir their porridges. So that looks good. You can see that the cream of tartar and the baking soda and stuff are already starting to work in this. So now I already buttered my pan. And a lot of recipes, especially in the South for cornbread, do not call for sugar, but this one does call for it. And we're making this tonight to go along with some bean soup that we're making for dinner. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven for 20 minutes at 425 degrees, and we'll see you back then. Hi, well, our cornbread is all done, and here it is. I just took it out of the oven, and the way to tell if your cornbread is done, not only, when you see the golden brown on it, but if you put a toothpick in and it comes out clean, you know you're good. So the other ingredient that I had switched out with this, and I'm not sure if I told you, was I used yogurt, plain yogurt, instead of sour cream. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and we certainly are looking forward to having some tonight. And you can serve this with, just butter, or maple syrup is really good, sorghum, molasses, honey, whatever you like, and all of them are delicious with this. So anyway, I hope you have a great evening. Bye.